All right. Oh, good morning, everybody. Oh boy, good to see you, everybody. It is 9:15 in the a.m. here in the Pacific time zone. Uh, May 7th already, and we are at a temperature of looks like 70 degrees, and we are supposed to hit a high of 87, I believe. The weather has been really beautiful. 87 is a little high, little higher than the normal temperature for this time of year by a few degrees. A couple of days ago, well, let's go 3 days ago, it was like mid to upper 80s. Nice warm day. And then it dropped down like 20 degrees for the daytime high to like 65, which I thought was beautiful. A lot of people were complaining about it. I loved it. I think 65 with a nice breeze was perfect. And then yesterday it got a little bit warmer. Might have hit 80, I guess. Upper 70s. And now today we're like upper 80s. So, but this is a good time if you want to come to Vegas and you don't want to get, you don't want to melt. This is the perfect time of year to come. This is really great weather we're having. Great spring weather. Anyhow, thanks for being here. We got looks like a full chat room of folks in here ready to talk. Tuesday talk for our Tuesday talk. Roxanne Armfield was the first one in, looks like. Good morning to Roxanne. W is here. Apparently also listening or watching Tony. I assume it's Tony Michaels or whatever his fucking name is. Well, fuck him. I just say that because that's his thing. So I just threw that back in his face. Let's see, we got Rosebud finally caught you live. Oh, thanks for being here, Rosebud. Glad you caught the show here. You can see what it's all about now. This is it. This is what it's all about. It's me sitting here and just reading the chat, basically. And we'll see where it goes from there. The Rosebud, they don't have a lot of YouTube music to choose from. Actually, that was a composition of my own. I know that WW hates it. He's a purist, apparently, when it comes to music. I made that little ditty with some sound loops, I guess you'd call it, from the Garage. What's it called? Is it not Garage Band? Is it? But whatever is the little app, that little music app that's on most of the. I guess it's on the Apple products, right? Anyhow, I put that together. And the reason I'm using this intro, I haven't made a new intro yet because the old intro that I was using got a copyright claim. Like I said in the last show, it was music that I got from this is the app that I'm using to do the show from on the phone here. It's called Prism, and they have a bunch of music on there. And I was led to believe that was copyright-free music. Apparently, it's not. So I don't know. So I'm just using some of these old. These are some of the old intros that I used to use. I haven't used them in a while. And I know this music is safe because it's music that I made myself, even though it's WW hates it because it's not like real music. It's just sound loops and it's all electronic or whatever. But anyhow, enough of that. Carrie C is here. Hey, good to see Carrie C. We got Fancy. Never fear, Fancy's here. Good to see Fancy here in the chat. Good morning to Fancy. Walter Makarovich is here. Good morning to you, Walter. Pisces Greeter, good morning, Pisces Greeter. I see you in there. Good to see you. And let's see, we got Jackie's here. Good morning to Jackie. And Carrie C, I already said hello to. Jackie again, the Roxanne's here. And there's Jolie. I was wondering when Jolie was going to pop in. On my way to the airport. Have a great day, everyone. Oh well, hey, have a great trip. That's right. Yeah, have a good trip. I hope you have a great time. And if you're a bit preoccupied, I completely get it. And family first. Family first. Let's see. WW. Oh, that was WW. WW says there's storms this morning in northern Illinois. Walter McCarriage says, thanks again for the Nerd Halen. You are so welcome, and really the pleasure was all mine. I had a great time. I really feel bad about a couple things. First, I think listening back, the sound quality is pretty horrible because it does not do Nerd Halen any justice. I probably should take that video down because I can tell you that the sound being there in real life was like a million times better than the sound that came out on that thing. So it's really horrible audio, and like I said, I might just take it down because it does not do Nerd Halen any justice. And I'm really looking into trying to buy either a better, external mic type of deal or whatever. But for the next time that I do it, because they announced that they're going to be playing on July. Oh, up in Jackpot. That's pretty fun. That's kind of a big drive. It's up in very, very up northern Nevada, almost right at the Idaho state line. But the last time they played Jackpot, I think it was over a year ago or a couple years ago. And I was here because I was here in Vegas. And I was thinking about driving up there to see Nerd Halen up in Jackpot. And I might do that, who knows. But whenever I do another, whether it's Nerd Halen or any other concert that I might do a little coverage of, I need to get a better mic. That's for sure, because that did not do them any justice. I can tell you that. Fancy says that it's 68 degrees in Louisiana. Rosebud 85 in Florida. Wow, 85, and I bet this time of year it might not be too sticky. But you're probably feeling a little bit of the humidity coming in, huh? Tim Farrell's here. Hello, Tim. Good to see you. Pisces Greeter says, everyone, I am now having issues on House Sparks. No one seems to see me anymore because no one says hello to me, and they always have. Seems odd. That is odd, Pisces Greeter. Maybe no one likes you anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, everyone loves you. I don't know... Sometimes these things happen, and YouTube is a weird place sometimes. WW says, I'm done at Tony's unless you get boring. Well, you're probably already gone, because I'm probably already boring. So, Rosebud says, Tony yells too much. Yeah. We got some yellers in these YouTuber communities. There are some people that yell a lot. I save my yelling for emphasis. I don't know. Plus, I have neighbors. So these other people, they probably have studios or houses that has some separation. I have neighbors, so I don't. I'm afraid just speaking at this level, I might be disturbing people. So, by neighbors, I mean I'm in an apartment complex. Not that the other folks don't have neighbors, because I know Hal does his show from his house, but he lives in a house that has a yard and has some separation between the houses. Tony, I don't know where he's at, but anyhow, don't need to go off on that tangent. WW says, talking about Stormy Daniels' testimony. Yeah, I just caught the last end of tail end of Stephanie Miller's show, and I just saw in the chat some people mentioning some of the testimony, and I guess the judge finally just said, "Hey, it's none of the salacious testimony or whatever," and kind of moved it along. Fancy says he didn't say anything when he passed the media. Oh, when Trump came in, he just didn't say anything. Well, maybe finally he's learning to keep his freaking mouth shut. Finally getting, I guess, he got fined again. And I think it's not that those fines really matter monetarily to him that much, but it sounded like the judge was almost saying like, okay, the next time is jail. So maybe that finally got him to shut up. W says, I told you you can use my originals. I will not prosecute, promise. I don't have your originals. I don't know how to get to your originals. And if I don't even know, I'm on an iPad and an iPhone. I'm not even sure if I could even figure out how to download and upload those. And number 3 or 4, whatever number I was on, I might not like yours. I might like mine better. Pisces Greeter says, Fancy, I still give Hal Sparks a thumbs ups, and that's all for now. Hopefully that gets worked out, because it's frustrating. You know, let's see. WW, some of mine are loops, but they are long and original with me. Well, let me check them out. If I think they fit with my style, and if it's something that I like, and no offense, there are things I like and there are things I don't like, and just to forewarn you, I might listen to your music and I might think it sucks, or I might just, or not that it sucks, but it just might not be my thing. You know what I mean? It's got to be something that I like, that I feel, you know, goes good with the show. But I don't know, where do I even listen to those, to sample them? And by sample, I don't mean sample like, you know, like rap music samples, rock songs, but I mean to listen to check out. But with fair warning, W, I might not like them, or I might just feel like it's just not for me. Tim Farrell, we missed you last night at Jolie. But anyhow, so point number 2 about the Nerd Halen. First one was the sound quality. Like I said, my recording device sucks. It was my iPhone. It just sucked, and didn't do them justice. Number 2 is I ran out of battery. The battery died, and I really feel bad about that, because it was really stupid of me. I went into that concert with only about 65% battery. And so even that, I still got about, what was it, 2 hours? I think it was 2 hours and 45 minutes or something like that, off of 65%. If I had gone in with 100%, I would have had plenty of battery. And I feel stupid because I always charge my phone because I had gone out driving a little bit, Uber, before that concert. And whenever I get in the car, I put the phone in the little holder, phone holder thingy, and I plug it in. And for some reason, I didn't do that when I got into the car. I put it in the phone holder and I forgot to plug it in. So I had been out driving for a little bit, and then when I got over to the Virgin to watch the show, it was down to 60. It was actually at 61%, and I plugged it in real quick but it was, by this time it was about 9:45, and I had meant to get there at 9:30 because I thought the show started at 10. But anyhow, it was about 9:45 when I parked in the parking lot there. And then I plugged it in, and I was like, should I just sit here and let this charge for a while? And I think I sat there for a few minutes, about 5 minutes, and it got up to 65%. And I was like, no, this isn't going to work. So I just unplugged it. I went into the show with my 65%, and I thought, well, I'll just see what happens. So hopefully it'll be enough. And if you guys recall, during the beginning of that show, when I did mention that the battery was only at 60% or whatever it was, 60 something, and I said, hey, if the show just cuts out, all of a sudden it's because the battery died, and sure enough, that's what happened. But it got almost to the end. They were at the very, very end during the last song when the battery died, and then they did 2, I guess you could call it encores, and one of them was just a repeat. Because I think they did Jamie's Crying Again, because people were kind of shouting out songs for them to do, and then Hal said, yeah, we can do Jamie's Crying Again because I think he heard or saw the person who was requesting that. And he goes, because they weren't here, you know, and they haven't heard it, so we can do that again. And then they did one other song after that. I can't remember what it was now. Talking about love, or no, it wasn't. It was You're the One or something like that. I don't know, but anyhow, that's all they did. So that's all you missed. But see, if I still had the camera going, I would have tried to get like another little interview with, or not, I guess interview or a little session with Hal, and like I did last time. But I wasn't able to do that. And this time around, he was talking to some other people, and I was kind of waiting for them for him to get done with them because I wanted to talk. But I ended up just saying, hey, like kind of like over their shoulder. It's like, hey, Hal, great show, you know. And he kind of acknowledged me. He said, yeah, hey, thanks, you know. And then I went over to Caleb, that's the lead guitarist, and I shook his hand again. And they pretty much Caleb. I'm sure they recognize me now because I've been to 3 of their shows, and after every show I've gone up to at least Caleb and Hal and said something to them. I've spoken to the drummer Jeff and to the bass player who I always forget his name. I'm sorry about that. I think Rob something, but Caleb, you know, he's kind of recognized me, and he's like, I just told him, hey man, you guys sounded great. I really think this is the best I've ever heard you. And he was so appreciative. He's like, oh, thank you so much, you know. And then and actually security was kind of kicking us out at this point. They did have security there, and they were like, you guys got to go, you know. I'm like, okay. So I was there, and I met John from Las Vegas. If you guys know, I don't know if John has popped in or not, but sometimes he pops into the chat. Sometimes you see him on Hal's show or other shows. And John from Las Vegas was there, and I just so happened because when I got there, they have someone seat you, and he goes for 2, and I go, no, just 1, and he goes, do you want to sit there, and there was or you want to go over there in this other spot, and there was this where I got was like right front of the stage, and it was a chair facing the stage, and there was like this kind of a little couch. They had those little couches, and it had like a group of people on that, and then in another chair was this guy, and it turned out to be John from Las Vegas. So I ended up sitting right next to John from Las Vegas, but I didn't know that was John from Las Vegas. But he knew it was me because I was you know just sitting there watching the show, and I was live streaming, and then all of a sudden from you know the left side of my body, I hear someone go, "Hey, Trucker John, Panama," you know, because that was sort of a running kind of joke from the last Nerd Hailer show, where I would go, "Oh, I think this is Panama," and it wasn't Panama. I said it was some other song, and I did that like 3 or 4 times, and then it became like a joke. Like even a song that obviously wasn't Panama, I would go, "Hey, I think this is Panama." So I sort of made this sort of a running joke out of it, and apparently John from Las Vegas, you know, he remembered that, and he'd watched it, and then so I turned, and because I go, "Hey," you know, and he goes, "Yeah," he goes, "Hey, I'm John from Las Vegas," and I was like, "Oh wow, I know you," and he goes, "Yeah," he goes, "You know, we've seen each other in chats and stuff," so that was cool. We got to know each other. You got to meet each other, and after the show, we talked and hung out a little bit. So that was really cool to meet John. But I wasn't able to get any of that on the live stream, and I would have liked to have gotten, you know, some of that post-show stuff. It would have been nice, but it was my own fault for not plugging in my damn phone earlier. And I just shake my head in disgust. Let's see. Rosebud says, yes, use the West music. There's witnesses he won't prosecute. Well, like I said, I gotta listen to it. It might not be for me. Hey, Denise Wilkins here. Morning, John. Good morning, beautiful chatters. America, I haven't had coffee yet. Oh, wow. Go get your coffee. We'll have a coffee together. I'm sipping mine here as we speak. Sorry for that slurping sound. Sometimes I watch the playback just to see, you know, how it turned out, and I see me slurp. I can hear me slurping the coffee, and it even bugs me, and so I can only imagine how much it bugs you guys. But thanks for being here, Denise. Let's see. Tim Farrell says, John, they have been taking down uploaded Bruce concerts. If you have not removed yours, maybe you should. Actually, I actually got a copyright strike, and it got taken down a while ago, a few weeks ago. I got a copyright strike on that one. And I think the reason why I got the strike is I think it was on, and usually they just do a copyright claim. But the thing is I just totally forgot, really. So because I have a choice where I can hit a monetize button where I can get monetized for it, and I just went ahead and pushed monetized to monetize it because it was getting so many views, and I just thought, I guess my thinking was that they'll just give me a claim and they'll just shut it off, or they'll shut the monetization off. But they didn't shut it off. Like, by they, I mean YouTube. And so what happens is I got an actual strike. So I do have a strike on me. But I went to, what you do is they give you this option to go to, what do they call it? Strike school or copyright school or whatever. And you just watch these little videos, and then if you do that, then the strike should come off in like 90 days, I believe, if I'm understanding the rules correctly. So anyhow, but yeah, that's happening. And I was wondering about that, because I see so many Springsteen concert footage on there. I just thought that they were cool with it, you know. But by they, in this case, I'm thinking of the Springsteen group, or, you know, the music company or whatever. WW, he doesn't like my music, Rosebud. I am so sad about it. W, I said I don't even know. I don't think I've ever heard your music, other than the times I've heard you like sing stuff on like Liberal Dan or something. Like I said, I have to. I'm not just gonna willy-nilly put your music on. I gotta listen to it. I gotta sample it. I gotta make sure it fits my vibe. Pace Grader, thank you, Sugar John. I agree, YouTube is pain. Let's see. Let me just skip on down a little bit here. Real Bill P says, Tony's language is awful. We have grandchildren here, and I won't put that crap on my TV. Now, I do let an occasional F-bomb out, to tell the truth be known. But it's not like every other word, at least. So at least you got some chance that the grandkids weren't here. But you never know, because I do get an MF-er out every now and then, and an F-bomb every now and then. But yeah, I mean, that is something to think about. You know, it's not just like we're all adults and we should all be able to take it. Yeah, there could be kids watching, so, you know. So that's something I guess I need to be a little more cognizant of, or aware of too. So I don't know about what you're talking about. Somebody who was in pajamas. I kind of skipped down a little bit because I know I'm behind, so I'm not reading all of it. But Tim says, I am always multitasking, so I don't see a lot of the chat. Still listening. Maybe that is what others do as well. Price Reader. Could be. But no, but with Price Reader, though, I mean, she'll get at least, you know, a half a dozen or more people will say, you know, will acknowledge that she's there. You know, so, and then all of a sudden to go to like zero, then that's probably an indication that something's up with the deal, with the YouTubes or whatever. YouTube has free tracks. Yeah, there are free tracks, and I've downloaded some of those, or I've made a playlist of some of those that I've chosen. It's just that, and I could do that too, but it's just a kind of an extra couple of steps I got to do. I was using the Prism app because it's right there. Excuse me. It's right there in the Prism app. And it's really easy. I can just pick a song out of that and it will just, boom, go on right on it. That's why I was using the Prism app stuff, because it was really easy peasy, and they had some on there that I liked. I liked that last one that I had on there. I don't know if you guys remember it, but I liked it. W never likes anything unless it's his, so but I can go to the YouTube thing, and then I have it's like a couple extra steps, and I, you know, and I have used it for other things. I have used the YouTube music on some other stuff, but I'm well aware. WW says the files might be too large to send. I think they are on this channel. I know that they are on SoundCloud. Oh, I'm on SoundCloud too. So, what's your name over there? I could go over there and check it out. Oh, I sent you a link already. Well, if you sent me a link and it's been longer than today, you might want to resend it because I lose shit or or whatever, So it's buried probably. Hey, 56 Nick Rich, like number 19. Good day, trucklers. And we're at 26 watching, 25 thumbs ups. Thank you so much for those thumbs ups. Let's keep them going, keep them coming. And let's like, subscribe, and share. The share button is important because that helps put the show out. It gets the show out to more and more people. Just like hitting the like button gets us going in the algorithm. So that's a good thing too. So thank you guys for doing that. MJ Daniel here. Good morning to MJ. Price Creator says, sorry, all but my two sisters still like and support Trump. My younger sister is the worst, trying to convince me that Trump is the right choice for the presidency. I'm like, oh my God, and WTF, sister. Notice how I'm so conscientious of saying the F word now because of what the Real Bill was talking about. Yeah, I'm so sick of Trump. I can't wait for him to go to prison. And I just put out a video. It was yesterday. I'm saying that Trump's going to lose, people. He's going to lose, and we're going to be rid of him. But like I said, we got to vote. We got to all make sure we vote. WW could have just done segments. I ended up lost. I don't know what you're. If you're talking about Tony Michael still. Rosebud says they show Stormy talking to the press, but they don't play sound. Well, that's weird. That is really weird. They can play the sound of Donald Trump all day long, but now they can't play Stormy's sound. I call BS. I'm not on you, but I'm on the media or whoever is in charge of their sound. That's something's about right there. I don't know why Nick Rich is promoting another show. Thanks, Nick Rich, for promoting some other show. WW says, I was having some malaise. Been talking to therapists, not even related to pixels on a screen. You are my refuge when you aren't all being a bunch of whiny jerks. And then even then probably. I know you find a real kind of perverted sense of joy, I think, maybe, in being abused by us at times. Rosebud says, I remember when Hal Sparks had more subscribers than Midas Touch. Now Hal has less than 100,000 and Midas Touch has 2.3 million. How the fuck does that happen? I really think it should be reversed. I think Hal should have 2.3 million and Midas Touch should have less than 100,000. That's what I think. Real Bill, Pisces, TK, I am busy when Hal's show on at 6 p.m. here on the East Coast. I just pop in occasionally. Well, you do what you can do. You do what you can do. And the main thing, if you can't participate in the chat, the main thing is you hit the thumbs up, maybe hit the share button real quick, make sure you're subscribed. And if you do all those three things, then you're a wonderful, you've done a wonderful thing for any YouTuber that would appreciate that. Fancy says Midas has grown so much. Yeah, and I don't really get it. I really don't like them that much. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but there's something about them. They just bug me. WW says you are 56 Nick Rich 56. Some who say that they are not. Okay, whatever. Tim Farrell, it looked like a cheesy sort of venue, almost Mar-a-Lago-ish. Are you talking about where Nerd Helen was playing? It's called the Shag Room, so there's that. It's just a little it's just a little kind of bar area inside the Virgin Hotel. You know, it's actually not bad. Nick Rich says, if someone blocks you because of something that you continue to say repeatedly, why get upset at them? I don't think anyone's really upset. Kevin is here. Fancy says, yay, Kevin is here. I guess that's Midas Kevin. There's Midas Kevin. Good to see you. Rosebud says, holy cow, Stormy said he was lying on the bed saying, I thought you were serious about what you wanted, referring to putting her on The Apprentice. Oh. So that's right. I forgot about that aspect of it. Hey, Seha's here. Holy crap, it's Trucker John. Holy crap, it's Seha. Thanks for being here. TSN Broadway is here. Thanks for being here, TSN Broadway. Nice to see you guys. See you all here. Yeah, I'm behind the chat, but that's the way it goes. The chat goes faster than when I can talk. Midas Kevin, Trump was wearing his jammies today. I haven't seen any of the footage from today yet. Steven Sayers says, what's up? Well, what's up with you, man? Good to see Steven coming into the room here. Fancy, I sing just like Lucia Ball. I'm open to performing. Not known for her singing abilities, but hey, she had a lot of heart. The kid had heart. Sehal says at 56 Nick Rich, I've been wrapped up watching the 25K competition for Deep Dip 2. Been skipping my normal feeds, laughing out loud. I have no idea what Deep Dip 2 is. Is that a game, or is what the F is that? Ichabod Deer is here. Hey, hello, Ichabod Deer. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like button for me and subscribe. I know you're subscribed, but share and all that good stuff. Midas Kevin says, cross your fingers during today's recap. We see it say Trump got sent to jail. Maybe that's why he's in his jammies. Maybe he had his toothbrush in his pocket too, you know. Just getting ready, you know. Real Bill P says, I have a friend that started a YouTube channel 1.5 years ago. He reports on politics, etc. He has over 2 million subscribers and just got a contract with MSNBC as a contributor. Language is important. Wow. How'd that happen? I want to know how that happened, because I would love to have 1 million subscribers. I'd love to have 100,000 just so I can get that plaque. I really want that plaque, folks. But we're at 1,730, I think, last time I saw. We've hit 1,730. So that's great. I appreciate all 1,730 of you. You guys are awesome. Pice Greeter TK says, also, my 2 sisters hate the current president, Joe Biden. They do not trust him. Oh, because he's been so untrustworthy. Please. They like someone in Trump who has been certified during his presidency to lie over 30,000 times, I think it was, 32,000 or whatever it was. And yet, they trust him. And nothing against your sisters, because my family does it too. People I know do that too. It is just a head shaker. Hedge Enemies here says they don't want the witch casting spells over all of us. I don't. Oh, if that's why the sound you're talking about. Okay, Hedge Enemy. Sounding very WW there. Bicycle Mike 42, thanks for being here. Says Biden is the greatest president in my lifetime, and I agree. I'm 63. People will say Kennedy. Okay, I was 3 years old when he was assassinated. I would say Biden is the greatest president in my lifetime. I agree, Bicycle Mike. Steve Sayers says Trump posted on Truth Central something about the jurors and then deleted it. Yeah, he's just talk about pieces of crap. Donald Trump is a huge, giant, walking, talking piece of crap. I'm just skipping down because I know I'm really behind here. Ichabod Deer says, all GOP voters since Reagan have held the USA back decades. I don't say Nixon because he started the EPA. Yeah, Nixon did one good thing, so yeah, yay. But yeah, for sure, from Reagan on, you just see this steep, downward thing. First thing he did was take off the solar panels off the White House. That's a big indication right there that he's totally, just in the pocket or whatever with big oil, with OPEC, and really set us back decades. We should be at least probably 20 years ahead of where we are right now as far as renewable energy is concerned. But Reagan and Bush, whenever they get into power, they don't do anything to help advance green renewables. Whatever sort of even EPA requirements as far as on vehicles, like Clinton will get in there or Obama, and they'll raise those, and then as soon as a Republican gets in, they do away with those or lower it back down. So everything we try to do, it's just been so frustrating, especially since Reagan. You're right, especially since Reagan. It just seems like one step forward and two steps backward, and that's going backwards. That's why we need to stop, and I never have, but collectively as a nation, we need to stop electing Republicans, especially at the federal level, especially in the White House and in the U.S. Congress. We need to stop sending Republicans there because all they do is send us backwards. And I, for one, am sick of it. I'm sick and tired of it. Hey, there's Margot. Margot's here. Hello, Margot. Good to see you. James Williams is here. Good to see James. That's how far back I am. I don't know when you folks came in, but it was probably quite a while ago, and I'm just now seeing you, so that's how far I am behind in the chat. So I'm just going to skip along here a little bit. Yeah, Jimmy, yeah, GT, what a cult, nothing breaks the MAGA spell. Seha says Deep Dip 2 is a yearly competition in a game called Trackmania First. To the top wins, it's on day 4. They are still battling for cash. Never heard of it. Maybe it's a Canadian thing. I don't. Fancy says Trump just walked by the media again without saying a word. And he probably looked grumpy as hell, didn't he? He's all like, probably looked like... I hate Trump. I really do hate him. And I'm not ashamed to say that I hate him. Like some people are like, don't say hate. You're not supposed to say hate. Don't hate. That's like unchristian-like or something. That's like the number 2 sin. Number 1 is committing suicide. That's unforgivable sin. And hating is like the second worst thing. You're not supposed to hate. Screw that. I hate him. Big Hook, Reagan removed the solar panels. I already said that. Rosebud says, Trump saying she was trying to use her feminine ways to get on The Apprentice. He's not attracted to her. Nothing happened. So now he's saying nothing happened, huh? What a bunch of BS. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Jenny? Jenny? Where's Jenny? Where'd you go, Jenny? Oh yeah, Jenny died. Spoiler alert. Okay, so Mr. Spock is here. You live long and prosper. All my fingers are spread. There we go. That's a little bit better. You live long and prosper. And something about morning coffee. So yeah, get your coffee and water your plants and kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Robert Perez is here. Top of the morning to you, driver, and all trucklers out there. Thanks for Robert for being here. Good to see you. Hedge Enemy says, you're not supposed to wish harm either. Screw that. I wish harm on these people. They're like Nazis, just pure scum. Fuck them. I don't really wish harm on them, but if harm does happen to them, I'm not going to cry any tears on some of these assholes. You know what I mean? Hey, there's Sinwise. I don't know if I've seen that one before. Thanks for being here, by the way. Good to see you. It's so nice to find a live stream that isn't MAGA propaganda. Wow. No, we're like anti-MAGA over here at the Trucker John channel, at the Trucker John live stream. I am the anti-MAGA. In fact, I call them maggots. It's like Trump. I felt like I was like Trump for where he explains something that everybody already knows. You know, he's like, they call it. It's like they call it speeding when you go too fast. They call it speeding apparently. So I was like, I didn't make up the term maggots, and I think everyone knows. Everyone's heard that. But when I say maggots, when I call maggots, the maggots will come out, and they're literally like, I think I don't see them, but I think they're literally crying. If you ever want to make a maggot cry, just call them a maggot, and they will start crying. They don't like being called maggots. And then all of a sudden, they get very PC, politically correct, right? Because they don't like it when you say that you shouldn't say the R word because it's very insensitive to people who have learning disabilities or whatever. They don't like it when you shouldn't use the F word as in the word that is a derogatory term for homosexual by saying like, oh, that's you're such an F for that, or or whatever. They don't like you when you use these derogatory terms, or if you tell them that they can't say that. But boy, if you call them a maggot, all of a sudden they get really PC and they're like, oh, you're doing name calling and you're just showing how immature you are by resorting to name calling and calling us maggots, and I'm just like, F you and your fucking. I avoided the F word of one into that sentence and not any other into that sentence. But they're just so hypocritical and so stupid. And so, yeah, we're anti-MAGA here. Totally anti-MAGA. At least I am. Pretty sure just about everybody in the chat is, except for maybe W. But other than that, I think we're all anti-MAGA. 56 Cinewise, we know lots of live streams hosted by progressive people. I don't know why you did that weird accent. Big Hook is here. Good to see old Big Hook. Says, do you believe the most documented liar and cheat or the porn star who makes an honest living? I I believe the adult film actress. You know, she doesn't. According, I don't think I've ever seen a Stormy Daniels film, other than maybe like when that case first came out way back in, like, what was it, 2015 or 2016? I guess it's 2016. I think I saw some clips just that came up. You know, it kind of showed what she does. I don't think she does straight up like XXX porn. What she does is much less. It's less than XXX porn. It's like they have a different name for it. It's like, you know, they get naked and they have sex, but they don't show the actual, like, insertion. You know, the actual intercourse. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff she does. I believe. Like I said, I've never watched any of her films other than maybe a small clip of something like from 8 years ago that was probably made 10 years ago. But, you know. So anyhow, so she's not the same as Mia Khalifa? What's that her name? Or, you know, whatever. Or going back old school like Marilyn Chambers or whatever. She's not like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that she's not like a XXX portion. I believe, you know, that actually shows the actual intercourse. You know, it's more simulated type sex type stuff. I believe, but I may be wrong. But in any case, even if she was the most hardcore, you know, XXX star out there, I would still believe her over anything that Trump says. Because, as we know, Trump has been documented during his presidency of committing and saying well over 30-something thousand lies just during that 4-year period as president. So over his lifetime, he's probably said millions and millions of lies, or at least hundreds of thousands. I mean, you know, I don't know. WW, I don't like being called a maggot by the host of the show I am watching. That's a dick move. Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-fuckity-hoo. TSN Broadway, donate to the Truckers swear jar. There you go. Yeah, you guys. Steve Sayers says, Kimball and Stormy identify a line-up orange mushrooms of many sizes. But the bottom line is that he paid her off during an election so that it wouldn't look bad on his election. That's the whole thing. And then he covered it up. And it's the cover up because that's getting here because he didn't want the finance, campaign finance or whatever, the federal, what is it called? Whatever it's called, you know, for campaign, the finance thing, the whatever the commission is that oversees the campaigns, didn't want them to see it, so he was hiding something that he got that helped his election. That's why he's in trouble, and that's why he's going down, because it's very, very clear that he did it. That he tried to cover up this thing that he got for his campaign. It's that contribution in kind, right? Rosebud says, I didn't hear him call you a maggot, although most Republicans are. I just made a quick little thing because someone had said, I was glad that this isn't a MAGA thing, and I said we're anti-MAGA. I said we're all anti-MAGA here except for maybe W. That's what I said. So I didn't actually call him a maggot or a MAGA. I just said except for possibly W. There's a difference, in my humblest of opinions. Let's see here. I'm just skipping down, trying to get caught up here a little bit. Say how there is a difference between a maggot and a Republican. Yes, there is. There is, but there's just, it seems like there's fewer and fewer Republicans. It seems like the maggots have really just taken over the party, and whatever Republicans are left, or they're just laying really low for the most part, because if they don't, they are going to get drummed out of the party right now. I think a lot of them are just laying low and riding this thing out, and they're just waiting for Trump to go down. And as soon as he's down and out, then MAGA will disappear, and then the old Republicans will pop back up, and then they're going to go from there on. And then wherever they take the party, who knows? Are they going to be back to being the 1980 Reagan party? Are they going to go back to Eisenhower, which might be nice, because you think about Eisenhower, and he sounds more like a Democrat today than anything. But who knows what's going to pop up? But yeah, the Republicans who aren't MAGA, they're keeping a real low profile right now, because they're just riding it out, which is understandable. Because they don't want to get either primaried if they're the Republicans that are in office, or even if they're not in office, if they're just in maybe the RNC, or maybe even just regular voters and stuff. They might just be, they're all kind of hanging low, keeping a low profile. I think. Oh, W was talking about Hal. Well, I'll have this is not a Hal show. This is the Chuck and John live stream. So, say how I'm not rich enough to be MAGA or Republican. Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of people who aren't also, but they get fooled into thinking that the Republican Party is somehow helping them. I'm talking about people who are even just working class, middle class people. And the Republican Party, I think, is, at least within my lifetime, has always been about just helping the rich, the uber rich corporations and companies, the uber rich people. But there's not enough of them really to just, if they were the only ones in the party, there really wouldn't be enough of them to get elected. So they need to get, more masses of people. So they do, they fool them into thinking that they're for them. And they try to come up with all these manufactured crises like the border or whatever. And a lot of people buy it. And it's in large part because they have a great propaganda machine in things like Fox News, or in radio, over the air radio, when they had Rush Limbaugh on like 1,000 channels, 24/7, 365. So they've had a great propaganda machine going, and people buy into their propaganda. Regular old working class folks who I think the party leaders really would not even want to even come in contact with and rub elbows with, but they want their votes, And so they fall for it. They fall for the propaganda. Propaganda is a very powerful thing, and it's a very powerful tool, and the Republicans have been really sort of experts in using it, because they've had the backing of the Rupert Murdochs, and the Koch brothers. They have the backing of these billionaires, and they're able to just make those messages go out, those propaganda messages go out on every airwave possible, and every medium, and bigly. So that's what we're up against. And the Democrats seem to have had a hard time combating that, or trying to put their own message out there. They haven't really been really good on messaging, and but that's because it's not propaganda, that they rely on. But anyhow, you got me, you got Trucker John, you got people like me out here trying to get the message out of hey, don't buy the BS, don't follow, don't believe that propaganda. Steve Sayers says MAGA are white supremacist. I believe so. I would agree with that assessment. Seha says, WW people wearing red MAGA hats with Made in China tag, bitching about Biden selling out to China isn't a different idea. It's stupid. They contradict them. They just constantly contradict themselves, these maggots. Like it was yesterday, who played the clip? Randy Rhoads or somebody showing the guy is like, saying he's all law and order. And then the guy, the reporter, or whoever it was, it might have been Good Liars. I don't know who it was, but he's like, well, he's like, what do you think about, Trump being up with, on felonies and being convicted, all these things, and then the guy was just like, I don't care, I'll still vote for him, So their hypocrisy is showing, and it's very obvious what hypocrites they are. They might as well just say, I really don't care about law and order when it's my guy. My guy can be as lawless as could be because he's my guy. Your guy can't be because I don't like your guy. So he needs to be 100%, perfect. I still wouldn't vote for him because he's not my guy. He's not on my team. He's not Republican or whatever. So my guy can be as hypocritical, he can be as lawless and crooked. That doesn't matter because I just want him in. And that's pretty much kind of what Bill Barr said. When asked. Because there's that interview, and the interviewer was like, okay, so she listed all these things, that Trump had done. And I said, and you're still going to support him? And Bill Barr was like, yeah. Even though he agrees that about all those things, all the bullshit, all the laws, all this, all the cheating, all the conning, everything. Bill Barr totally agrees that Trump has done all that stuff, but he's still going to vote for him because, get this, because the Democrats are more dangerous to democracy. Give me an effing break. What do we see happening with this Republican-appointed SCOTUS continually stripping away rights that have been given to people and that have been fought for decades to get, and they're stripping them away? If that's not the destruction of democracy, then I guess I don't know what is. So to Bill Barr and to those maggots who say they're all for law and order, but not for Donald Trump, it doesn't matter, I say, fuck you. Jolie says, just peeking to be sure everyone's behaving okay, really just W. W's being fine. He's just being his typical kind of self, but not too bad. But thanks for poking in there, peeking in. And again, have a good day. Have a good time down there. Nick Rich, the machine in the background sounds like my refrigerator. That might have been my refrigerator. It's shut off now. Something was on. Or something. Something made a noise, yeah. But boy, you can hear everything, Nick Rich. You must have your speakers up really loud or have really good speakers or something. Say how Biden isn't facing 85 felonies or 88 felonies. Right. He's not facing anything, and the only thing he's facing is bullshit from like James Comer and all these total bullshit. WW says, say how I almost always agree with you, even though we come from a different life experience. But the halt to international markets is starving the world. We need to buy and sell with the world. We do. We do. For God's sakes. We trade all over the place with everybody. WW, we are not a democracy. We are a constitutional democratic republic. Same fucking thing, dude. Same fucking thing. W says in a democracy there would only be one party and elites would rule just like China. Fuck off, with your nonsense. Niggers, expletives have their place, and this is one of those places. Minus Kevin Anderson says, say how that's why I was fuming when he said the prestigious Medal of Honor goes to Rush Limbaugh. Yeah. See, Trump just made a mockery of everything. Something that is so special to get. And I think when that happened, there was somebody who had got one of those Medal of Freedoms. I think I don't know if he actually threw it in the trash. But I think there was something that's like, I might as well just throw mine in the trash now because he has made this like a worthless honor. Like it took all the specialness out of it because Rush Limbaugh didn't do anything to deserve that. He did not deserve. Talk about vile, disgusting human beings. Rush Limbaugh goes to the top of the list. So vile. Him and Donald Trump, they can sit side by side on the top of that list of the most vile, disgusting, obnoxious, nauseating, just disgusting people I've ever heard or listened to or seen. Rush Limbaugh and Donald Trump, right there, side by side. So I guess it's kind of fitting that Trump gave him this Medal of Freedom, whatever, because they're identical as far as in disgust, and really the only reason I ever think that I hope that there's an afterlife and I hope there's a hell is for people like that to go in there and burn for eternity. Because they deserve it. Fancy says, hi, John. You talking to me? Because I think I'm the only John in here, and I said hi to you earlier, so I don't know what that's about. Maybe because I've been skipping posts. I cannot read every single post, guys. I'm sorry. I would still be on the very top of the list by maybe John from Vegas is here. Oh, okay. I didn't see John from Vegas. There he is. Good morning, my nerd, Halen buddy. There you are, John. I was talking about you at the very top of the show. I was just telling people how I met you. And you were sitting right next to me. And then all of a sudden you started going, hey, Trucker John, Panama. And so it was very funny. And it was very nice to meet you. And I had a great time. So that's what Fancy was saying hi, John, to. Okay. I'm not the only John in here. There's John from Las Vegas is here. Margot says, did you see Jon Stewart going on about Biden being too old to be president? That was I think that was his very first show when he came back for his comeback. Yeah, I saw that and I thought it was horrible. And I really haven't. I've seen a few clips of Jon Stewart since then. I'm not really all on board with the guy. He's just doing way too much of this both-siderism bullshit, and I'm not really understanding him. Fancy says, Tony Michaels calls himself the Rush Limbaugh of the left. Well, if that's what he's trying for, I don't know, but whatever. John from Vegas Fancy says, I'm a John also. So we've got, okay, so we do have more than just me in there. But if you go by Hedge Enemy, then how am I going to know? But now I know, Hedge Enemy, you are a John. Rosebud, just read the gray comments. It's easier. Big Hook, hard to reason with an emotionally enraged person. Nick Rich 56 says, I hath not seen nor ear heard, neither has entered into the heart of man the things that God has prepared for those that love him. Heaven, hell, I don't know. John from Las Vegas, great meeting you too. Yeah, it was great. Hopefully we can hang out again sometime. John, Jonathan Van Lussen, Cleveland Journal. That's a little inside joke there from what happened there. WW says China is not the only market that takes advantage of our commercial economy. Europe did, and the profits went both ways. Mr. Spock had to laugh at some protest. The pro-Israel MAGA crowd was shouting F Joe Biden, and the pro-Palestinian side were shouting F Joe Biden back at them. It was hilarious. So I guess they had some common ground there. They should have all shook hands and said, "Let's go home. We're done. Our job is done here. We've come together. We agree." I don't know. Although that's stupid to say F Joe Biden. They should be saying F Netanyahu. They should be saying F Hamas. I mean, if you can put plenty of blame on on Netanyahu and how he's running this. I think Netanyahu is a piece of shit. But if you are going to completely ignore Hamas's part in this, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong, something very, very wrong here. And it smacks of not having genuine concern for Palestinians. If you're just ignoring Hamas' part in this and not putting any blame on them and putting it all on Israel, then that to me says that either you are very ignorant, which I'm ignorant in things, I'm just saying, or you're just not being you're being very disingenuous, and you are there on some sort of false pretense or false premise or false something. So I'm very suspicious when people don't put any blame on Hamas. Because you have to. You can't just blame it all on Netanyahu or Israel. And Joe Biden is not the ruler of Israel. And he has already, was it yesterday, stopped shipments of weapons to Israel. So I think Joe Biden is doing everything that he can. This is that thing, the magic wand fallacy of the magic wand or whatever. He can't just wave his hand and make it so. Okay? He's a president. He's not a king. He's not an absolute ruler. There are procedures to go through. There are branches of government. You can't just wave your hand and make it all go away. Julie says, reminding us, we got channel memberships and super chats, and you can support the show by liking and subscribing and sharing, or you can buy me a coffee over at buymeacoffee.com there. And, because I like my coffee. And I want to thank everyone who gave super chats during the Nerd Halen show and other shows. It really does help the show, helps us grow. I want to buy some more equipment. I need to get really like to upgrade the equipment here instead of just operating off of an old iPad and everything. And hopefully get some better external speakers. So the next time I do a Nerd Halen show, it won't sound like shit. Because, boy, I tell you, listening to the playback, I was so disappointed. And I feel so bad that I'm almost going to take it down because it does not do Nerd Halen any justice. In real life, sitting there in front of that stage, they fucking wailed. Caleb on guitar was wailing. He was shredding. And it sounded great. And Hal's voice sounded great. The whole band, they were just kicking ass. And then I listened to it on the playback and I was like, oh my God, this sounds like shit. And if I don't know if Hal or Caleb ever watches any of those videos, because I added Nerd Halen, and I know Nerd Halen has watched the channel, because in my analytics sometimes it'll show some of the people who are watching. I know Nerd Halen has been to the channel. I don't know exactly what they've watched. They probably watched one of the previous videos, not this one, but one of the previous times that I recorded them, and they probably are like, "Oh my God, he should take this down because we sound like shit." And it's not that they don't sound like shit in real life; they sound awesome in real life. So I felt bad about that. So I really want to get like a better microphone, external microphone or something. What I really want to get is this Pocket, what do you call it, Pocket 3? It's like, I forget the brand, it's like Osmo, Mimo, whatever, Pocket 3. And I've been watching videos on it, and it records in stereo. So it sounds like it probably records really, really great. It takes great images, great video, and you can live stream from it, which is great, because I wasn't sure if you could, but I watched a video last night, and you can remotely. Because I watched another video where the guy was just talking about, he made it sound very, very difficult about doing like live streaming. And then last night I was watching this other video, and it's very, very easy. You can just download an app on your phone, and then you just hook your, you're able to, I guess through Bluetooth or whatever, you're able to connect the camera to your phone, and you can just do a live stream that way. Because I was thinking if I got that camera, I would only be able to do videos, which is fine, but I couldn't live stream from it. But now, after watching the video I watched last night about it, it looks like I can do live streaming from that camera, in a remote situation like that. So I really want to get that camera, and with that, and with the it has like a creator bundle, I think they call it, where that includes like an extra mic, and includes other things that probably you should get. That all together, that comes to over $600. So I'm just saying those are things for the show that I like to do, like to make the show better, get better equipment. So every time you guys contribute to the show financially, that's what that money goes to getting better equipment. But hey, if you can't do that, it's fine. Just being here, being in the chat, and participating, giving me the thumbs ups, giving me those shares, that gets us out into the algorithm, and that helps us grow. We've grown from last year, about a year ago, I think we were only at 300 subscribers, 400 subscribers, and now here we are at 1,730. So I know it's not 1 million or 2 million like Midas Touch. It's not even 68,000 like Hal or whatever. But hey, man, to go from like 300 to 1,730, I'm pleased as punch, and I love every one of you, even WW. I'm so glad you guys are here, and so it's awesome. You guys are awesome. So thanks for helping. It couldn't be done without you guys. You guys have helped grow this show. Every time you're in here and you thumbs up me, and you subscribe, and you share, it helps. So I see that Nick Rich is ready for a filter. So I don't know, but maybe we can have filters. I don't know. What do you think? Is it time for a filter? It could be time for filters. I think it's time for filters. Do you think it's time for filters? Because I certainly do think it's a time for a filter, and it's really, really a time for me, the purple beard guy, to come on in and say, hello, everybody. How you doing? Make sure you like, subscribe, and share to the Trucker John channel. Trucker John, he's just a guy, just a normal guy out there trying to, I don't know, provide a little safe space for people, and just to have some like-minded folks come in here. And also, hey, if you're a maggot, or if you're a Republican or whatever, hey, you can come on in and just, if you got something to say, say it. Just say it, nicely or whatever. No hate speech. Don't call anybody any names or anything like that. You can come on in, and then we will pelt you with names. Probably, I don't know. At least Trucker John probably will, because sometimes he can't control himself. He's a man that sometimes is guilty of putting his foot in his mouth, quite frankly, at sometimes. So, but that's just the way he rolls, I guess. But anyhow, I'm glad to be here, and I think you're glad, and I think we're all glad, and Trucker John is really happy to have you. So thanks for being here. And that's just the way it goes. Hey, but what about me? I'm a tough cookie. And even I'm glad Trucker John's here, and I'm glad you guys are here, even though sometimes I can get to be a bit tough. a bit of a tough cookie. And believe me, if you took a bite out of me, you'd probably break your teeth. Okay? That's how tough I am. So don't even think about trying to take a bite out of this tough cookie, because this tough cookie will break your teeth. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'll break your freaking teeth. Not because I'm so tough and everything. It's just because I'm tough. I'm old. I'm an old tough cookie. And believe me, yeah, your teeth are gonna get broken. So I don't suggest anyone trying to take a bite out of me, because it's just tough. It's tough. I know I look soft and chewy and delicious, but I'm really, really tough and hard and not real tasty, probably. I guess, truth be, well, tell the truth, I have had a few crumbs flake off, and I did take a little taste, and I know it kind of sounds kind of gross, like I'm tasting my own stuff there. I'm going off into an area that probably I shouldn't go off into, but you don't want to. Just trust me. You don't want to take a bite out of me. You don't want to taste me. It's not good. It's not good. And you're gonna break your teeth, and you're gonna need some dental care real soon, probably. So I don't suggest. I don't suggest it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. The only thing I do suggest is that you give Trucker John a thumbs up and a share and a like and all that good stuff, because that's all I got. I'm running out of stuff. I'm running out of steam. I gotta go soak in a cup of coffee or something. Okay, there you go. That's the show. Thank you, good night. Thank you and good night, everyone. I hope Nick Rich was satisfied with that. Nick loves those, so I don't know if anyone else does, but I know Nick Rich loves it. But special appearance by Purple Beard Guy and Tough Cookie. So that's the thing. And my hair is a special appearance by my hair sticking out. So in every which direction. But thanks, guys, for being here. But we're not done yet. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying that. I mean, I'm going to be here for at least another 38 minutes or whatever. Elvis Stu, say tough again. Yeah. Fancy says, yeah, the cookie. John from Las Vegas is there laughing. 56, a green bow tie to cover any nunt. Yeah, I'm going to start wearing a turtleneck. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know what I'm doing. Big Hook says, Johnson was shown, I guess we're talking about Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, I believe. Not Lyndon Johnson and not Tim Johnson. Anyhow, was shown evidence of what was happening and had to reconcile with his conscience what he had already allowed to happen. And by the yeah, they had a come to Jesus moment with that little prick, I think, finally. Mr. Spock, where's the Cookie Monster when you need him? He's probably in some trash can somewhere. I don't know. Hey, 3 girls, 3 wheels is here. Thanks for being here. It's tough like bear meat. Nick Rich, yes, I do enjoy Trucker John's humor. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Speaking of that, in case you didn't know, that was my Elvis Presley impression. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I've been fantasizing about getting an Elvis suit, being, of course, Fat Elvis years, the Fat Elvis years, getting an Elvis wig, maybe growing my sideburns out, and maybe, whatever, dyeing them black, or maybe I could find fake sideburns. I've been fantasizing about doing that and going out and recording either live stream or making a video of me either on Fremont Street or somewhere on the Strip, because I've seen these fat Elvises. Sometimes they're not fat, they're just Elvis, and they perform. There's one that does it at the Las Vegas sign, and I know there's one down, I think I've seen one down at Fremont Street. I think I've seen one on the Strip. But I've been fantasizing about getting in an Elvis suit and I guess get a karaoke machine or whatever they do, and just singing Elvis songs. I've been fantasizing about that, so I might do that at some point. Let me know in the comments section what you think about that. Should I do that? Should I sing a little bit of Vegas, a little bit Elvis? I guess I could do Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. You know what? My Elvis is not as good as... I used to do a pretty good Elvis. And for some reason, over the years, I don't know if my vocal cords have changed, or maybe it's just because I didn't do it for a long time and I kind of forgot how to do it. But my Elvis used to be almost like... And that, what I just did is not... So I don't know if I can get back to the Elvis that I used to be able to do. Because I used to be able, I'm talking about like even when I was a kid, like in the 70s and even in the 80s and the 90s, I could do an Elvis pretty good. And then for some reason I kind of stopped doing it, and I don't know what's going on, but I can't do a good Elvis anymore. I can't do it. I'll tell you what, I can't do it like I used to be able to do. So I don't know what's going on. I'll have to work on it. I guess. Fancy says Uber Elvis. That would be popular. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, but people get in. I'll be like, oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I could dress up like Elvis as an Uber driver. That would be kind of cool, Fancy. That would be funny. If I dressed up like Elvis, and I'm an Uber driver in Vegas, that would be, Fancy, you're onto something. I think that might be what I should do. And I could do, Larry, whatever, picking up Larry. Is that Larry? Heading over to Bellagio. Going over to Bellagio. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's Fancy. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that someday as a joke. And I'll try to record it, but, you can get in trouble. You're not really supposed to record. I'm just wondering if I recorded... Let's say where it's just me and you can't see the passenger, because there are rules against recording. I mean, I can have a dash cam and I can record, but I can't post it. I don't think I'm really allowed to post it like on YouTube or whatever, showing the customers and stuff. But if I had a camera where it just showed me and then there's something, I don't know. It's kind of risky as far as posting is concerned. So I don't know if I would do it just because of that. Mr. Spot, good tips with Uber. Yeah, it probably would be. So, if I did it, I just don't know if I could post anything. W says, I think so too. Big Hook, Mikey knows more than the rest of Congress. Fancy, ain't nothing but a hound dog. I ain't nothing but a hound dog. You're sleeping all the time. It ain't nothing but a hound dog. You're sleeping all the time. Yeah, that's a good one. I need to work on it. I got to work on my Elvis. It's not as good as it used to be. Nick Rich just still doing these Smelvis impressions like the Donald. Fancy, people would want you all the time. Yeah, they'd be like, could I get that Elvis Uber driver? Minus Kevin, Fancy, you is cool. WW, they could take a photo. Well, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about posting video on YouTube. I mean, I guess if someone wanted to take a photo with me, that would be their photo. And I guess if they posted it, it's about protecting the writers. So if a writer posted something, then I guess that's okay because, they did it. But if I did it, I don't think Uber, they frown on that. Because they want privacy. They want the writers to feel like they have privacy and that they're not going to be thrown up on a social media platform for the whole world to see or something, I guess. I don't know. WW, don't ask for money. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Billy Cook says you ain't nothing but a hound dog, John. Twata 106, I like Rufus Thomas's answer to Hound Dog. He wrote and sang the song Bearcat. Well, Twata 106, thanks for being here, by the way. Good to see you jumping in there. Fancy, they will be video recording you, John. Yeah, so if they do it, I think it's okay. And I don't think I would get in trouble. But if I did it, if I posted something that I record, then I think I could get in trouble, and I could probably lose my job. But I guess if they recorded it and posted it, then that's different, because it's, I don't know. For some reason, it's different. I think it is. WW, they'll just give you a bigger tip. I've gotten tips as high as $57 cash, and that was with no Elvis. So just think if I was doing Elvis. Actually, you know what? I think I got a $100 tip in cash one time, if I remember correctly. I think this one dude gave me a $100 bill, and I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it was. And he was this guy. I picked him up in this really bad part of town. He's from Nashville. I think he was some sort of record producer, because he was talking about stuff, music stuff, and apparently, handing out $100 bills is no big deal to the guy. So he's probably well off. So I got that. I got a $100 tip, and I've gotten one time it was like $57 cash tip, and I've had other pretty big tips. $20, $30 tips, cash. And that's without the Elvis suit and show. So, yeah, you're right. I think it would probably increase my tips. WW Hound Dog is public domain. WW, I don't work. I busk from home. 17K if you really want me to show. Nick Rich, a C note for tip is awesome. It was awesome. W says blah blah blah. Okay, so yeah, no one's sending you 17K, W, and expenses. Sorry, no one's doing that. Anyhow, why is my hat always like? It just seems like it's crooked, or maybe I'm just crooked. Maybe I'm sitting here all crooked and whatnot. I don't know. But yeah, so I've been thinking about that. But now driving as Elvis, I think would be funny. I wouldn't do it every night, but do it every now and then. So I guess what I need to do is get me an Elvis suit. Okay, I need to get me an Elvis suit. Yeah. Like I said, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. I really got to get my Elvis down, though. I need to work on it. So I'm sure there must be a place that sells Elvis suits, those Elvis costumes. Okay, so there's that. I might do that. At least once. But I would like to, make a video of it, my own video of it, but I don't think I could, I think I would have to set the camera up so that I'm not showing the people. Anyhow, that's something to think about. Have to shave and wear a black wig. Yeah, I know, I probably would shave this. I would either grow my sideburns out and dye them black, or see if they have I guess they have little costume shops where you could put on fake sideburns, and then I would like to get a Elvis wig with sort of his big black hair, and then get that kind of like one piece suit that he would wear, thing with the usually it was white, but he had different colors. and kind of sequins or whatever. I should probably make a video of the guys that are doing that in Vegas now. I know a lot of times if you go to the Vegas sign, there's a guy there. There's a guy who drives this pink Cadillac. I think he does Elvis. And he drives people to, I think he drives them from a chapel, maybe, a wedding chapel, and he drives them out to the Vegas welcome sign. And they take pictures out there. And I think he sings to them and stuff. And I've seen a guy on the Strip right in front of the Cromwell, right on the corner of Flamingo and the Strip. I've seen that guy. And I think I've seen, I don't know if it's a different guy or the same guy, but there's a guy down in Fremont Street that I've seen walking around in the Elvis suit. And I don't remember if he was singing or not. Or if he was just walking around, trying to get one of those ones that just tries to take pictures or something. Big Hook, you can do Return to Cinder as an Uber. I'll return to Cinder. Address unknown. Is that how the return to Cinder? Boop, 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 boop. Oh, it was like, it's the wrong zone or something. Oh, I'll return to Cinder. Yeah, I gotta learn these songs. I'll return to Cinder. Dun, 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 dun. Says Rosebud, you don't look like Elvis. You're going to have to shave. Yeah, I was just talking about that. I'm talking about shaving, and I don't look like Elvis. I'm not trying to say I do, but but maybe if you put the wig on and the sideburns and you got the suit, I think I could embody a fat Elvis, and that's half the battle right there. Fancy says that Walmart has Elvis costumes. W says, if Elvis lived, he'd be like 90 years old. Yeah, which, when you think about it, I mean, yeah, that's old, but there's lots of people living to be 90. So he could have made it to 90 if not for some really probably unfortunate lifestyle stuff going on there. Nick Rich says, I retracted my comment because I'm going to hear about 45's dilemma later. Okay. Fancy says they have wigs with attached sideburns. Really? I'm going to have to go check out Walmart. It's been a while since I've been in a Walmart, actually. Not really because of any like protesting thing or whatever, but I don't know. I just haven't really gone into one lately. I usually just go to Albertsons and Target because they're right down the street. And that's kind of how I shop. Even though I like Sam's Club and I like Costco, but they're far out from here. And there's a Walmart, there's a Albertsons and a Target literally less than a mile away from me. And that's where I do all my shopping, just because it's close and I like close. And they're not, horrible. I mean, their prices and everything are reasonable, So there's that. I don't know if Target sells Elvis costumes or not, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go check that out. Fancy. So thanks for bringing that to my attention. I might do that at some point here if I get the courage, because I think I feel more apprehensive about doing it as an Uber driver than actually like walking up down the Strip or on Fremont Street for some reason. I don't know why. I feel more comfortable doing that than doing it as an Uber driver for some reason. I don't know. But I think that's a great idea. MJ Daniel says that if Elvis was still alive, he would probably be touring with the Rolling Stones. Yeah. Or he would be performing at the Westgate, which was formerly the Hilton International, where he performed all those shows, and now Barry Manilow is there. And I don't really like Barry Manilow, but I've picked up people, because Barry Manilow has been playing there, and he broke Elvis's record, I guess, for the most performances in that showroom, or whatever you call it, where that's the same place that Elvis performed at. but now they call it the Westgate. It's not called the Hilton International or whatever it was called. And I picked up quite a few people there that just raved and went on and on about how great Barry Manilow was. They're huge Barry Manilow. I had this one gal I picked up. She said she's gone to like 28 Barry Manilow concerts or something. And this one that she just went to at the Westgate, she went 3 nights in a row. And she was like younger than me. I mean, she was probably in her 50s. It's not like she's, some 80-year-old or something. I don't get it. I really don't like Barry Manilow. I like Mandy, and that's about it. I hate Copacabana. I just don't like his music. So it kind of pisses me off that he's playing where Elvis played, and they're giving him all this news about how he broke the record and all that shit. Fuck him, man. I'm tired of Barry Manilow. Barry Manilow sucks. The king of rock and roll. King of rock and roll, baby. Thank you very much. Now the king is the king. Big Hook, you can do your own 3,000 miles to Graceland. Does that mean I have to move to Alaska at the end or whatever? Nick Rich, Follow That Dream, the first Elvis movie I recall. W, I still think that Temu is okay. We used to buy from a place called Unclaimed and Overstock Clearance House. Fancy loves Temu. And Shane, or whatever it's called. I've never heard of that one, I don't think. MJ Daniel, Get Off My Lawn Tour. Sponsored by AARP. 56 Niggers, a Lawrence Welk fan, John? Not me. Maybe that person I picked up, maybe. I don't know. But, I mean, I don't have anything against Lawrence Welk. I mean, it's not my thing. I remember watching him as a kid. My parents would watch him. It was on TV. He was a long-running thing, and it was... But even as a kid in the 60s or whatever, I thought he was kind of corny and just schlocky and corny and, but still, it was kind of like a variety show. I think maybe the Osmonds were on there or something at one time, but, whatever. It is what it is what it is. It is what it is. Jeff Curry, I've been looking for a good Bigfoot costume. I know where lots of game cameras are. Fancy says, hey, don't talk bad about Lawrence Welk. He had those radical bubbles, man. Oh, yeah, the bubbles. Tiny bubbles. MJ Daniel, my grandparents never missed Lawrence Welk. Yeah, I remember we would watch it, it was sort of a weekly thing, And I think Lawrence Welk might have been from Minnesota, and my dad was from Minnesota. So it seems like whenever there was somebody from Minnesota, my dad was like, he was all in. He was all in. Like Hubert Humphrey and the Minnesota Vikings, Nick Rich, Lawrence Welk still runs in syndication. Hedge Enemy, missed me with that Lawrence Welk. I might put it on to go to sleep. MJ Daniel, I was more into Hee Haw and Laughing. Oh, I remember those shows. We watched those shows too. See, that's the thing. In our family, we weren't just you only watch this one thing. We watched Hee Haw and we watched Laughing. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Especially Laughing. I loved Laughing, And Hee Haw I thought was funny. It was funny as hell. With Roy Clark and Buck Owens. Yeah, and then, old Roy Clark has banjo going, he's really picking that banjo, man. And then they would have some hot sort of country girl on there or whatever. Yeah, we were big in the Hee Haw. Hee Haw? Hey, Rosebud's got to go to work until we meet again. Well, thank you, Rosebud. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for being here and enjoyed seeing you. We will be back on Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time and 3 p.m. Pacific time for the House Sparks pre-show warm-up. Don't miss it. So hope to see you there, Rosebud. Or, yeah, that was Rosebud. Big Hook says, if after all the technology and forest fires we haven't seen a Bigfoot by now, I think it's settled. Nick Rich says, we're not ones to go around spreading rumors. Oh no, we're not the gossipy kind. Was that a music? Were those lyrics? Because I see little musical, I think, emojis that are very hard to see. A really super dark gray emoji on a black background is very hard to see. Alvin Stu, PBS Riveting Television. Fancy Sarah. So Sarah Huckabee is half Bigfoot. Poor Sarah. She deserves to be probably thrown in jail for fraud. Rosebud, see you Thursday. Thanks, Rosebud. Hope to see you on Thursday. Marie Jean Greco is here. So we have one leave and another one enters. Thank you very much. We got 25 watching, 47 thumbs ups. Would be really nice to get to 50. I'm just saying. But Marie's here. Says hello to Sugar John. Hello all. Well, hello back at you. Good to see Marie in the chat. Nick Rich says you better be sure to listen close the first time. Okay. Okay, because we only say it once and we don't spread rumors. And we sing it like a song, like it's some sort of a song. Is that some sort of a song you heard on Hee Haw? Perhaps? Is that a Hee Haw type of song you heard? I don't know. I just wondering where you heard these things. Sir, my good sir, where have you heard these things? Sometimes I just make up voices. Just out of the blue. You never know what you're going to get when you go to the Trucker John channel. It's like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're going to get. You just never do. You never know what you're going to get. It's just big old box of chocolates. That's all it is. That's all it's ever going to be. And sometimes, don't forget, it's like a cookie. It's like a cookie you don't want to bite into. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right, Cookie. Thank you. Thank you. Go away, Cookie. Go away, little Cookie. Oh, go away, little Cookie. MG Daniels says, Roy Clark played the state fair when I was in high school around 79, 80. And we sat in a friend's backyard that lived right next to the fairgrounds and listened. Nick Rich says, the tune is from Hee Haw. Well, I don't remember the tunes from Hee Haw, sorry. Been a long time. Been a long, long time. Been a long time, been a long time, been a long time. Been a long time since I've listened to anything from Hee Haw. So. But thanks for clearing that up. I figured you put those little, I guess those are musical note things, but it's very hard to see. Very, very dark gray on black. It's very hard to see. But I figured it was something from Hee Haw. Fancy likes the cookie. Well, there you go. The cookie will be glad to hear that because I think Cookie is suffering from some sort of low self-esteem or something because he comes out very aggressively. I think sometimes low self-esteem, they try to overcompensate and they get very aggressive and very kind of rough around the edges. And so maybe Cookie just needs a little love, just a little love to sort of melt that heart. Nick Rich says, Marie says, I love the cookie, love to the cookie guy. Well, look at there. Cookie's going to be blushing. I bet you Cookie's back there blushing right now. WW says there's a certain mentality that European lives matter the most. The result is tens of thousands of non-white human beings dying daily. I like that. I'm going to start that movement. European lives matter. ELM. WWA says, but starvation in a land of plenty is an abomination, holy land. Really? Starvation in a land of plenty is an abomination. I was just trying to get a "We Are the World" moment there, right? But it didn't work. Fancy says starvation in any land is wrong. Big Hook hates tracking cookies. As well, you should. Let's see here. So Jackie. Oh, Jackie's leaving. Okay, Jackie. Well, thanks for being here. Good to see you. Hope you come back. Hope you come back. But boom. We'll see you on the next one. Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time and 3 p.m. Pacific time. For 1 hour. It's only one little hour where we just get ready for Hal. Because I know most people are ready for Hal at 3. On Thursdays, he doesn't come on until 4 Pacific time. So that little get-together is just for us to hang out for an hour, and I'll get grouped up and then ready to go on over there to Hal. That's basically what that show's about. And sometimes you guys are even nice enough to do like a Trucker John raid. And sometimes Hal Sparks sees it and he says, "Hey, Trucker John, thanks for that, doing that," or whatever. And that's always nice, right? Nick Rich says, top of the hour, gotta drop the air and pull out of the truck stop later, guys. Well, Nick Rich, good. It's always good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for your comments and for liking and sharing. Or I don't know if you shared, but I'm pretty sure you liked. But thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next one. Like I just said, Thursday. Big Hook says cookies and milk. I am okay with though. Big Hook, John, you're a tough cookie to figure out. Really? Fancy, I'm thinking ice cream. I bought me some ice cream. I went shopping yesterday at Albertsons and I got me some ice cream. I got the chocolate Moose Tracks, which is really good. And I had me a bowl last night. I'm going to start that diet as soon as I finish that half-gallon of ice cream. Or gallon, whatever. What's the one that's like that size? Whatever that is. WW needs a lot of power, but SpyBot search and destroy is great for all the bots. Big Hook favorite cookie, Toll House. My mom's Toll House specifically, but my mom's no longer with us, so I will never get a Toll House cookie made by my mom ever again. But it's a great memory. She made some great Toll House cookies. WW, I like white chocolate macadamia nut cookie. Wow. Yeah, I think I've had something like that. Yeah, macadamia is a good nut. It's a good nut. Fancy is just, I think her mouth is watering from all this talk of ice cream and cookies. Big Hook, I'm in agreement with you, W, on that one. Finally, you guys have found some agreement. Who was that? I guess that's Fancy. When I look on here, I can't see who it is, but it says my favorite cookie is those ones with the frosting on it from Kroger. Cookies with frosting on it. Yeah. Are they kind of like sugar cookies and they put frosting on it? WW says Subway has some good ones and a place in Rockford called Panino's. I'm going to Panino's to get me some cookies. Hey, who wants to go to Panino's with me? Jeez. I'm doing an impression of an old coach that me and my friend Mike Whitlock, one of my best friends of all time, I haven't seen in like 30 years. But we used to do this impression of this coach that we loved. We loved the guy. He's a great guy. And as far as I know, I think he's still alive. Although he used to post on Facebook all the time, and I haven't seen him post in a long time. And I know he's well into his 80s. So I hope he's okay. But we used to do this impression of it, and it went a little something like this. It was like, geez, Fowler, you ain't no athlete. And scene. That was my impression of Coach. I don't know, should I say his name? Coach Slough. Coach Slough is his name. He's a great guy. Like I said, I hope he's okay. I haven't heard from him in a while, or I haven't seen any of his postings in a while. That's kind of a bad sign, because he was posting a lot as of a couple years ago. And I know he's in his at least mid to late 80s by now. But I haven't heard it because his son's also on there. His son was actually a schoolmate of mine. We're like the same age. I don't remember him posting anything about, like his dad passed or anything like that. So I just hope Coach Slau's okay. I haven't seen anything on posting. I think for like a while now. But anyhow, Coach Slau was like, "Cheese, Fowler. You ain't no athlete." That was my favorite. That was like my favorite thing. Because in fact, I don't know if he ever said that to me. I don't think he ever did say that to me, but that's what we came up with, me and Mike, as one of his sayings, even though I think we made that up. But because that's like something he would say. Because after we graduated from high school, we actually were in the same racquetball club, and Coach Slau was a great racquetball player. I mean, really good. I mean, he was just smooth. He had a way of playing where he could just lay the ball down, and he didn't even have to work. I mean, it was just. And then there's me. I'm like this dope, big, clumping around, and I could play halfway decently, but I'm like banging into the wall, and I would play him all the time, and I don't think I ever beat the guy. I mean, for me to just score like 10 points on him, it was a big deal. I mean, the guy just had an ace serve, and he could just kill the ball in the corner, and just. I don't know. And I think he might have said something like, "You ain't no athlete." But I'm not sure if he actually said it. But somehow me and Mike came up with that as being one of his sayings. And I really don't know if he ever said that to anybody. Because he was a baseball coach and he's a basketball coach and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know if he ever said that to any of his kids, like, "You ain't no athlete." But that's what we came up with and as one of his sayings. But I think we invented that one. But... anyhow, he's a great guy, and I hope he's okay. But so even to this day, sometimes something will pop up, and I'll go into my Slau, my Coach Slau. It's like, "Cheese," because that was the kind of thing he would do. He would just go, "Cheese, cheese," and he always has some gum that he was chewing. It seemed like so we always act like we're chewing gums, like, "Cheese, Fowler," shaking his head. So anyhow. W says, "My coach used to tell me the same thing. It was motivation." Like I said, I don't know if he ever actually said that. But it's certainly kind of the sentiment for sure. W says, "I kept looking at Richie Welburn's butt the whole race." What race? I don't know. I guess I skipped something. He was always first and I was second. He went to state. I didn't. Oh, so like you're running track or something, I guess. Jeff Curley's here. Hey, Jeff Curley. A little inside joke because at the Nerd Halen show, Jeff was watching and I accidentally said Jeff Curley, and for some reason, maybe it was the Coca-Colas I was drinking went to my head. I really thought that was funny. I really thought Jeff Curley was funny. And I kept saying it over and over again. And I'm like, I'm going to call you Jeff Curley from now on. I was acting like I was drunk. And I hadn't drank anything other than regular, just plain old Coca-Cola. But for some reason, I just thought that was funny as hell. It's kind of one of those things where, you think something's funny. And then the next day, you're like, it wasn't really that funny. But anyhow, Jeff Curry's here. Or Jeff Curley, however we go with that. Thanks for being here. It says, "Trump lawyers asked for mistrial because Stormy hurt Donnie's feelings." Aw. Boo fuckity hoo, as our friend Hal Sparks likes to say, and I think that's a great saying in this case. Boo fuckity hoo. Marie says, "Jeff Curry, poor little Donnie." Yeah, we all feel sorry for little Donnie, don't we? Hedge coaches that chew gum all the time are scary. I don't know. W says, my story is the coach would tell me that Richie was a real athlete. 110, 220, I guess was the hurdles, I don't know, or whatever. We always won the relays. Alrighty then. Fancy, hey Curly. Jeff Curry. Curly in the Curly in the house. Curly's in the house. Poor Jeff is actually bald, laughing a lot. So that makes it even funnier. Although, I was gonna say, wasn't the Three Stooges guy Curly? Wasn't he the bald one, or he was Shemp? I'm not really a big Three Stooges guy, but I know some of you guys are gonna come in with all kinds of Three Stooges trivia because you are probably totally fucking Three Stooges experts, and I'm not. I never really got into their humor, although they are funny, and I watch them every now and then, or if it pops up, and it kind of gets a little chuckle out of me. But I really wasn't into that nonsense, poking eyes and shit. But it was kind of funny. It's all the same. But I could never really watch more than like 10 minutes of it. I'm like, done. Until the next time, you know. W says some pundits are predicting that Trump won't be the candidate. And if he's not, then who's it going to be? Nikki Haley? She going to lose too. WW says, laughing out loud, I hate hair in my teeth. I have whiskers. Okay. Big Hook, you kissed her lips, she crossed her legs and broke your glasses. Hey, Jeff? Boy, you guys are really taking this to a place I didn't see. Marie never watched The Three Stooges. You know, I mainly watched The Three Stooges at I think it was it Shakey's Pizza? What was the old pizza place? It might have been Shakey's or whatever. And this is way back like in the 70s and 80s. And I think it was Shakey's at the Victor Plaza. If there's any of my old schoolmates that happen to come in here, and you never do, even though I am on Facebook, and a lot of my old schoolmates are on Facebook, I mean, they never come into this live stream. I don't know why. But if any of you just happen to, and you probably have better memories of me, because my memories are kind of shot, about the what I think is Shakey's Pizza in the Victor Plaza. They would always show these old films, and a lot of them were like Three Stooges. It was either like what was it, Spanky and the Gang or whatever, with Alfalfa would be playing, or Laurel and Hardy, or the Three Stooges. That's usually what was playing, and that's usually that's pretty much my where I watch most of those things is there at Shakey's whenever we would go to the pizza place. A little bit on TV, but not too much. So that's that. So any of you old Victorville people from the 70s, why aren't you watching? Why am I multicasting? Why am I on Facebook? And none of you MFers come on. None of you. Not a single one of you come on to Facebook. And right now we're having a conversation about the Shakey's in the Victor Plaza. And this is where you guys could shine. You guys could participate in the chat and relive some old memories about the Victor Plaza. But no, you don't come into the chat. You don't even watch the goddamn live stream. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you Facebook? I'm pissed off at the Facebook people because they don't click on anything that goes to YouTube, it seems like. For some reason, they seem to have a bias against YouTube because they see my live stream, or maybe Facebook has a bias and they don't put it in the algorithm. Maybe they're not seeing it. So that's probably what it is. So maybe I shouldn't be so harsh on my old friends and neighbors and schoolmates from Victorville. Maybe it's not their fault, so I apologize. It's probably Zuckerberg. God damn it, Zuckerberg, you suck. Get my live streams out in the algorithm, god damn it, Zuckerberg. You idiot. Why you shadow banning me? Why are you shadow banning me, Zuckerberg? if I ever see you in Vegas and you are a rider that I'm supposed to pick up, I'm going to cancel. How's that? How's that for some revenge? I don't know. I probably shouldn't. I should probably take the ride and then just on the whole ride, just tell you what a creep I think you are for shadow banning me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, hey, Zuckerberg, why are you shadow banning me, man? Obviously, you're shadow banning me because not a single person of my friends list on Facebook will ever go on. Sometimes WW goes on there. That doesn't count. I mean, as far because that's not an old schoolmate or classmate or friend from Victorville. That's what I'm talking about. So I would just say, Zuckerberg, why are you shadow banning me, man? On what? Why? You better stop doing it, or I'm going to stop this ride right now and kick you out of my car. That's what I would do. That's what I would say. It's fun to fantasize, isn't it? So anyhow, I went off on that thing. Okay, but yeah, about the only place I would watch those was at that Shakey's in Victorville at the Plaza. But sometimes on TV, yeah, sure. I watched some Three Stooges on TV and some Laurel and Hardy. I kind of like Laurel and Hardy. And then that Spanky and the Gang, they were okay, but, you know, just okay. WW Shakey's. I think it was Shakey's, but the reason I'm not sure is because it might not have been. But I think it was Shakey's. Let's see. See if there's anything interesting. Mr. Spock says Three Stooges is basically yuck, 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 and poking people in the eye. Poking people in the eye is not funny. Yeah, there were some things that I would get a chuckle out of. Oh, and I like the Marx Brothers, though. I do like the Marx Brothers. They were actually pretty funny. WW says Lucky Zucky has health problems. I haven't heard anything about his health problems. That's no excuse to shadow ban me, though. If anything, he should unshadow ban me just to clear his conscience before he dies. I don't know what his deal is, but I don't even know if it's true what you said, but whatever. W says I go on and you ban me. I haven't banned you. What are you talking about? Big Hook says YouTube is getting pretty bad with restrictions and bans as well. The billionaires are getting petty. Huh. Alvin Stoops says, so have you read Tara's book yet? I started reading, I think I read there's like this introductory thing. It took me forever to read that goddamn font. It's so hard to see. Not only because it's kind of squiggly, but it's light. It's a light color. It's not like a nice dark print. I don't know what she was thinking. Did that save money or something in the printing? Because it's sort of like a gray. It's not even black. The print. So I think just on that alone, it's stupid. It's a stupid book. And what I read, that little introductory, it's like a couple pages, I was not impressed with at all. But in order for me to read it, I'm going to have to get a magnifying glass thing, one of those magnifying glass things, and a light or something, because I can't see the goddamn. It's really hard to see. So I have to like really, get in there and try to see it, and then it just takes longer to read it. So I don't know what she was thinking with that font design and the color of it, where it's like a light color. I don't know if that was a cost saving thing, but I definitely think the double spacing of everything, just so she can get a 300 and something page book instead of a 150 page book, that's totally like. That just makes me think that's how she got through college or something. It was just like with all these cheats. So far it's made my opinion of her that wasn't really that great to begin with even go down lower. And I've only read like 2 pages of that book. I don't know if I'm ever going to read it, but I kind of feel like, I don't remember what it was, to tell the truth, $20 or whatever it was. So I feel like I have to read it because I bought it, but I'm not looking forward to it. And if I get into the first chapter and it doesn't grab me or want to keep turning the pages, then I might not ever finish it. So far, it's not off to a good start. To what I want to say, to be fair, I still listen to Daft Punk. Well, Daft Punk is kind of good, so nothing wrong with that. WW, she's fading celebrity, maybe how identifies. I don't think she ever was a celebrity. I never heard of her before. At least Hal, he's been on some like big shit. Like Queer as Folk was a big show. And Talk Soup was a pretty big show. And he had Disney, He's been on some big shit. Tara Dublin, I never fucking heard of before she started coming on Hal's show. Who the fuck is she? I have no idea. I mean, I guess she had a radio talk show at some point or something. All I know is she fucking hypes the hell out of herself. So she's got that going for herself. But I'm not impressed. And so far I'm not impressed with that book. Portland radio. Yeah, I get whatever. W says grunge era DJ. I never heard of her. And even if she was a grunge era DJ, that does not make her a celebrity. That might make her a radio personality at some local level, but she's not a fucking celebrity. I think Hal could say he's a celebrity. He was one of the main characters in Queer as Folk, which was a huge show. He was a host on Talk Soup, which was a huge show. He was on that Lab Rats, which I never watched, but it's Disney, and that's a huge following. So they're not even in the same category, as far as I'm concerned. It's not even close. And she turns off a lot of people because all she does is just try to hype herself and hawk her book. And I understand, okay, look, you want to sell your book and you want to put yourself out there and try to get jobs or whatever. That's fine, but I mean, got to tone it down a little bit. She fucking overdoes it and she takes over the show with her shit. And that's what people don't like. Hedge enemy, I don't like Tara or that AI guy who goes. I'm warming up to the AI guy. At first, I thought it was kind of boring or whatever, but as each week comes on, I'm warming up more and more to him and to the topic. I think, and it's getting more and more interesting to me. So yeah, I don't mind the AI guy. Tara, I could live without her. But I like the AI guy. I like when he had Seska on there, and he's had the Major, and of course Ittner every Wednesday. I love Ittner. He's had some really good guests come on, but Tara is always like, ugh. And you know what? I shouldn't be on here bashing Tara. I guess. I just wish she would just. Because she does talk a lot about, the topics. And why is my hat always goddamn crooked? What am I doing with my hat? Anyhow, that looks better. But then it moves, or I move it, or something. I think that's better, right? There, Bruce Springsteen. But I shouldn't be so. I shouldn't bash her so much. Although I will bash the book because it's stupid. The font she picked was stupid, and it's a light print that I can hardly read, and it's all double spaced all the way through, and it's just a cheat. And so I will stick to that. But as far as I guess her on the show, she does talk a lot about important topics of the day, Trump and Israel and all that kind of stuff, and so she's good on that. I guess we just get a little bit. I think a lot of us just get a little bit tired of her always trying to promote. And there's a time for that. And usually, it's at the introduction, and usually when you're leaving the show, when you're going off the show, there's a last minute thing. That's usually how it's done. But she's always getting them in there throughout the whole segment that she's on. She's constantly kind of pushing herself. And I think people get just tired of it. And so it gets to the point where it's like, being accosted by a really overly aggressive salesperson, really all you want the salesperson there is maybe if you have a couple questions and then you want them to leave. And then when you're ready to make the purchase, you want them there so you can make the purchase or whatever. But you don't want to be hounded and shadowed or whatever. And sometimes that's what you kind of feel with her. But I really shouldn't bash her because I think she's a good person, and I think she is on our side. She's a lefty, right? So, but out of all the guests, she's probably my least favorite that Hal has. Let's see here. I'm just kind of skipping down. Fancy says, "What's on the T-shirt?" Oh, can you see it? This is a Elizabeth Warren T-shirt from when she ran. I guess was it 2020, right? So it says "You and Me," and then it says LFG, which stands for "Let's Fucking Go," and then on the very bottom it just says Warren. So this is a Warren T-shirt. I have a Bernie one somewhere. I haven't found my Bernie shirt. Did I lose my Bernie shirt? Because I have a Bernie shirt, and I don't know why my hat seems to always get crooked. I have a Bernie shirt. I have this Warren shirt. I need to get me a Biden shirt because I voted for Biden and I love Biden. So I need to get me a Biden shirt. That's going to be my next purchase, a Biden shirt. And I will proudly wear it on the Trucker John live stream. You betcha. You betcha I will. Let's see. Philly 3000. I was like 50th likes. Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, we've passed 50. We're at 52. So thank you so much, Philly 3000, for being maybe you were the big 5-0. So that's awesome. Now we're at 52. Can we get to 60? That is the question. Maybe not, because we are at 2 hours, 18 minutes. I might be signing off here in a little bit. Big Cook says, oh yeah, Cliff Schecter was quite good the other. Yeah, Cliff was good. He's really good. See, maybe Tara should watch Cliff Schecter and see how it's done. That's how you do an interview. Or a guest spot. Michael McAndrews, I love Tara, but it's okay if you don't. Like I say, I feel bad. Like maybe I over bashed her. I don't like the book. I mean, I've only read like the first couple pages, but I don't like that stupid font. And I showed it to you last day. I can go get it again if you guys want me to show it to you. It's this really stupid font, and it's printed so light, and it's double spaced. I think it's all those three things are really, really stupid. It makes me not even want to read the book. And what the 2 pages I have read weren't that impressive. Okay, but so that I all mean, I'm not taking that back. But I guess as far as like maybe I went a little too strong on how she is on the show, on House show. Because I think she is, like I said, I think she is a good lefty. She's a good progressive, and she has that voice, and it's important to get these voices out. and these opinions out. I think a lot of us just get tired of her constantly trying to, promote her, not just her book, but everything, almost like begging for a job or something. So like I said, maybe she should watch Cliff Schecter and Bob Seska and maybe, but of course, she is what she is. She is what she is. I don't know if she's gonna change, but like I said, I don't mean to totally bash her. I think she's a good person, and she has a good heart, and I think she's from a good point of view, good perspective, and so those things I like. I just don't like. I just get tired of the constant hawking, I guess. Big Hook. I miss Mary Trump when she had her show and guests. Mary Trump had a show? And it's already kaput? I've seen her post stuff like on X and stuff, which I like. Because it's always like, something against her uncle. Big Hook says, Anthony Davis had Stephen Hassan on Sunday, and he was great talking about the cult of Trump. I don't know who Anthony Davis is, and I don't know who Stephen Hassan is. That's how ignorant I am. Oh, that sound that Nick Rich was hearing, that's the AC in the living room. If you guys have heard something. It wasn't the fridge. The fridge doesn't really kick on like that and make that sound. That was the AC in the living room. Because I just heard it go off. And Nick Rich he's not here now, so I don't mean to be talking behind his back, but he seems to have either a very good ear or a very good speaker, because he notices that shit. An air conditioner that's behind this wall in the next room, and he heard it. It's a good thing I didn't do the show yesterday, because there was a worker right next to this window right here with some had like a circular saw or something, and was cutting things, because they have a crew here that's going through and redoing some of the rooms and stuff, some of the apartments, and he was set up right out. There's a window right here next to me, and he was set up right there. And fortunately, I think it was like 9 or after 9 o'clock or 9:30 when they started doing that, because they know they can't start too early because of there might be people sleeping or whatever. But I think they figure like it's okay at 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And I remember just thinking, man, I'm glad I don't work the graveyard shift, because I would be pissed off right now if I was trying to sleep, because it was so loud. So it's a good thing I didn't do a show then, or they're not doing their cutting today, because it was very, very loud right next to me here. Anyhow, Michael Andrew says, I love Tara, but it's okay if you don't. Did I read that one already? Like I said, I think she's a good person. I just get tired of the selling shit. But everybody's selling something, right? I mean, everybody, even Hal. I mean, all of us are trying to sell something, I guess. But I think she just kind of overdoes it. That's all. Hedge Enemy says, Stephen Hassan is the cult deprogrammer. Davis is a British comedian commentator. Okay. I guess I don't watch those things. Big Hook, Midas Network. The weekend shows Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. I don't watch the Midas Network all that much. I'm just not into those dudes. I guess they do good work and they put out good stuff, but I'm just not into them. There's something about them that just bugs me. Hey, John. Adam West Trail is here. Good to see Adam. Says, hey, aloha, John. Gotta work back soon. Alrighty. Well, good. Thanks for being here, Adam. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. We're at 54 thumbs ups. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me and share the show out. Big Hook. Yes, Hassan managed to escape the Mooney cult and dedicated his life to helping. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Jeff Curley says, I can tune out any noise. I had a son with a drum set. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, this is where my hat gets crooked, I guess, because I just sort of unconsciously, I'm always doing this. Especially when I'm reading the chat or something. I'll do this, and then I'll look up, and my hat's all crooked. And then I'm like, how'd my hat go? Who did that? Who touched my hat? It was me. I touched my hat. And now it's just totally fucked up. And then everything in the screen is like opposite. It's like opposite world. But now it looks good. I'm a hat guy. But I do this when I'm reading the chat or something, and then that fucks it all up. It says, Mr. Spock, thanks for reminding me to hawk stuff. Don't forget to check out my Elvis line of Hawaiian shirts in my merch store. Each one was featured in an Elvis movie. Blue Hawaii shirt is original orange. I might have to get one of those if I'm going to be doing my Elvis impersonations in the Uber. I might have to get one from you, Mr. Spock. WW, did I miss? I moved my hat again, didn't I? Jeff Curry says, WW, the only rule I had was no drumming during Jeopardy. There you go. Big Hook, you're doing the brow wipe unconsciously. I didn't wipe my brow. I don't think I've wiped my brow. I've been doing this, or I do this, but I'm not doing. I haven't done this. I don't recall doing this. Isn't this a brow wipe? Now I do this, and I do this, but I don't do this. It's a joke. Oh well. I wish it wasn't. Big Hook says Thomas Magnum nostalgia. Oh, for Magnum PI, yeah. He used to always wear those Hawaiian shirts. WW plastic fiber Hawaiian shirts for $5 each. Sell them for $20. With the hat. Well, that's not a. Is that a brow? Is this a brow wipe? I thought this was just a. I don't know, a hat thing. No more orange, please. Higgins. Oh yeah, Higgins was on Magnum PI. It was a good show. I like Magnum PI. His Ferrari. Pulling up in his Ferrari. Yeah, I remember that show. All right, guys, here we are at 2 hours, 28 minutes, and 9 seconds. Have we done enough? Have we done enough damage? Have I done enough damage to you? Have I fucked your heads up enough? For one day? What's going on today? It's 11:38. Randy Rhoads will be coming on in about 22 minutes. So get ready for that. Good old Randy. And then what I usually do after that, I'll go listen to Nicole Sandler for an hour over there on the Nicole Sandler channel, right here on YouTube, right here. I heard Hal Sparks did a little bit of Ed Sullivan the other day. I do Ed Sullivan. I'm the one that does Ed Sullivan, not Hal. What's he thinking? It's like, right here on our really big stage, the Beatles. Anyhow, so how dare you, Hal Sparks, stealing my my thing? Right here. So anyway, what do you guys do? Do you guys listen to Randy and Nicole Sandler? And if you're not, you should be, because they're really good. They're good progressive voices type of people, lefties. They both try to claim that they're not Democrats and that they've only registered as Democrats because that's the only way they can vote. I don't know. So I don't get that. Why are you going to be all lefty and progressive and then bash the Democratic Party just because they don't meet your purity test? Come on, Randy. Come on, Nicole. What the fuck? I'm a lifelong proud Democrat. Warts and all. Okay? I realize that the Democratic Party is not perfect. They're far from it. I realize that they've had candidates and people in the Democratic Party that aren't perfect. They're far from it. People that have made mistakes, people that have broken the law. The thing about us, the difference between us and the Republicans, is that when we have lawbreakers in our party, we kick them out. We don't tolerate that shit. The Republican Party, on the other hand, will just ignore it or try to, wish it away, or they'll spin it some way, or whatever. Not us. We're going to get rid of Menendez, and we're going to get rid of anybody like that. So I'm a proud Democrat, and there are things that I've thought, hey, we're not acting Democratic enough. Like during Clinton, maybe a little too Republican light. They've tried things, they've experimented with things, they've tried to do what they think they needed to do to get votes or to beat Republicans. So I think the strategy was to be Republican light for a while. I didn't really agree with that, but still, lesser of two evils and all, I would still vote for Democrats. And I don't see any reason to not become a Democratic member. And I don't really go for this unaffiliated bullshit. I don't go for this so-called independent bullshit. Look, it's a two-party system. That's the way it's going to be. And actually, I think it's good because what are we going to have? A parliamentary system where they're like a whole bunch of different parties and they're all it makes it even more confusing, I think. And more fucked up. And that's how you get Netanyahus and shit. So, but of course, we got Trump, but that's because of our media and the Electoral College, of course. Let's get rid of that goddamn Electoral College. Let's do that. Let's vote for Democrats, because people always say they should get rid of the Electoral College. Well, the only way that's going to happen is if you have Democrats in power. That's the only shot at it. Republicans aren't ever going to get rid of it, because that's the only way they get fucking elected to the White House. Is the Electoral goddamn College. That's how we got W. And that's how we got Trump. So, yeah, let's work on that. So let's get registered. And I don't care what you think about, WW. Democrats are corrupt in Illinois. I don't see how the Republicans are any better. But at least when it comes to the White House and to the United States Congress, we need to vote for Democrats. Because we need to get SCOTUS back. We need to expand the courts to 13. And we need to kick out some. We need to impeach people like Thomas, especially. I mean, he's dead to rights, a traitor, and taking bribes. And we need to invest Kavanaugh, who paid off his $500,000 worth of bills and debts. We need to investigate that motherfucker. And it ain't going to happen with Republicans in power. Your only shot at any of this shit is if you get Democrats. It's their only shot, WW. It's their only shot. You got no shot with Republicans. All they're going to do is drop taxes to zero for millionaires and billionaires and for big giant corporations. And strip away regulations so that they can continue to pollute whenever they want. And take away more rights, like women's rights of bodily autonomy. And all the other rights, they're going to start stripping those away. That's what you get when you get Republicans. So stop voting for Republicans, all of you. And I know my chat doesn't, but if there's any maggots out there, or any Republicans out there that see this, you need to stop voting for Republicans, because they're not operating in your best interest. If you're not a multimillionaire or a billionaire, they're not operating for you. They're just using you, and they're creating these hot button emotional issues to fool you into voting for them. So stop it. Because if you have any hope whatsoever of making this country great again, it sure as hell ain't through the Republican Party. That's for sure. And the Democrats, we're not about making it great again. We're about making it great to begin with. We're about just trying to make it as the best that it can be. We're about admitting we've made mistakes and learning from them to make this a better place. That's what we are. That's what the Democratic Party is about. It's just trying to make this the best place it can be. To make it the fairest place that it can be. To make it as non-racist as it can be. To make it fair and equal justice under the law. That's what we're about. And we're not perfect. And we make mistakes. And we have a big tent. So there's a lot of different voices. But voting for Republicans, all that's going to do is take away your rights and really make the president a dictator. That's what they want. So with that, I bid you adieu. I will see you on Thursday. Thank everyone for being here. I love that you're here. Thank you for the chats, for the thumbs ups. Thank you for sharing. Thank everyone for being here and participating, helping the show grow. Make sure you guys do some stretching. Stretch it out. Get loose. Get stretched, because you don't want to put a hammy. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for watching the Cook Show, hanging out with us, that sort of stuff. It's pretty cool, you know. I really love it. Thanks. I, Donald J. Trump, do solemnly swear that I've never farted in court ever, not once, not ever, not ever. It's all lies, fake news.